Hi, this is Rich. Welcome to my blog. Hey, let's talk about entities, ego, quiet mind, and soul contracts. To find out more about this, go to richwest.net. I have an entity course where you can learn more about entities and release them, and a soul contract revocation course where you can learn how to find the agreements you may have accidentally or on purpose made with entities before or after you arrive here on planet Earth in physical human form. All right. So the thing about entities is that there are many, many kinds. There's all kinds of entities. And the ones that give us most problems are those that blend with us in one way or another. And we think their thoughts are our own thoughts. And we also empower entities with our emotional responses to things. And they have emotional responses to things, and they blend with us, and we think their emotional response is our emotional response. So it gets to be a thing, a tangle. And so in various spiritual teachings, you will find that we are taught that the human being is a composite being. In other words, composed of more than one entity. You and I are entities. We're individualized, individuals separate from others, and we have our own awareness and knowing that we are who and what we are, as opposed to another person walking down the street. Okay. But there are other entities that have blended with us, or that we have blended with, merged with, connected with, kind of like mind melded with. And now the two, or the four, or the many move through time and space in the other realms in a way that the group or the composite believes it is one. And it's composed of various aspects or various personalities or various beings. Okay. So this is kind of a deep, weird thing about life. And it's one of the bigger problems when you're trying to get better. One, they're not easy to see or sense for most people. Some people can see entities or feel them or hear them or sense them in some way really easily. And these are the kind of people that can help other people who can't see, feel, or sense them. Agvila is, by the way, is really good. She can see and sense and feel them. I can sense them. I'm not a visual kind of person, so I don't see vivid visual imagery. So I don't rely on my visuals, but I'm real good like sonar or something. I have some kind of radar. I can sense these things. So when I do spiritual work and entity work, I'm able to use that sense of it. While other people can see visually the entities. And people with entity issues normally or often they hear the entities, they hear the voice. And it might sound like their own voice, or it might sound like some creepy entity voice. It could be a lot of different things in a lot of different ways. So a thing to know, I'm repeating myself here, but the subject of entities is vast and deep. It's not, oh yeah, there's entities, and you spot them, you deal with them, they're gone. Basically, yeah, but the nature of them, why they are here, what allows them to be in your space, what's it take to get them out of your space, how many are there, how did they get to be so many working on you in one way, and how do they organize themselves, This is all part of the studies when you do entity. You just kind of get into an advanced spiritual study of the subject. But let me talk to you about one of the simplest ways that you can get started on dealing with entities. If you feel like you are ready to start experiencing more of a quiet mind and more being here now, present, quiet mind, at peace with the universe, and know thy true self. If you're ready for that sort of thing, you might have already considered doing quiet mind practice, or be here now. And the reason, from my perspective, the reason the quiet mind, be here now, and the power of now, all of this, why is a thing and why it's so effective, has to do with entities and how you are able to deal with entities through your quiet mind practice. Okay? So, the way it works, simplified, is that there's consciousness here and awareness. And from your perspective, there is consciousness there and awareness. There is also thinking. And the thinking is not you. The thinking is the ego self. And the ego self is really, simply stated, the conglomerate or the coagulation or the grouping or the clustering of the various entity phenomena that is in your space and part of the composite being that you think you are. We think we are who we think we are because we think it. Isn't it weird, right? Simple. Duh. But we ultimately are consciousness and the awareness, not the thinking. So when we do the quiet mind work, we are literally quieting the thinking. We're turning the thinking off. We're not allowing the thinking to think. Or better said, we are separating ourselves in consciousness. We are becoming aware that we are not the thinking. And our intention is to be here now, quiet. And what you're quieting is the mind, but what you are quieting are the entities, the various aspects and clusters and composites of entity phenomena that have attached to you and have become your case and your thoughts and your feelings and emotions and beliefs and everything about everything. So in consciousness, we relate to what we think, and we become, by thinking it is so, we become what we think we are. We have a personality. You're a certain kind of person because you think you are, and for no other reason. You're not even a person except because you think you are. And you might think you're a brave person or a happy person or a sad person or a complainer or a mellow, get along with everybody kind of guy or gal. And you might think you're a good girl or a good mom or a bad guy or a bad boy. You might think all these different things about yourself. And this is your ego self. This is who you think you are. So to get rid of the ego, or to dissolve the ego, or to stop creating your ego self, is to be still and quiet and be here now in consciousness, as just be, there is consciousness of the now, awareness, perception of now, without the thinking. And there is no you to think you are, because the thinking is what creates the idea, the thought of who and what you are. So as you are being here now, you practice. There's different techniques and strategies for practicing and turning off the compulsive thinking. But when you get there, you sense it, you feel it, you experience it, the awareness, the consciousness. And there's no me, there's no ego. And you are not feeding the entities, the other beings that have attached to you in one way, the other clusters of entities and beings that have attached to you, and they have identified with you. And you're a very powerful now consciousness and awareness, and your thoughts feed them and energize them. And this is what they like about you. This is what attracts them to you. So when you stop thinking, they're like all, they don't want you to stop thinking. They want to be you. They want you and them to think they are the same. So you'll get whispers and thoughts going through your head while you're practicing the quiet mind, be still, be here now. Whisper, whisper. I think it's working. Oh, wait, I talked. Oh, damn. That's not the consciousness and awareness. That is the thinking that. So you can consider that as a part of your ego self. Whispering. That's you, but it's really just who you think you are. You think that's you thinking these thoughts that you're trying to turn off and stop thinking. So there is an addiction or a compulsion to think as well. There is a challenge to be able to confront the emptiness, the quiet, the peace. It feels great when you can do it. So it's really worth the work and the effort, the practice, the practicing the quiet mind, and to be here now. With an understanding of what's involved, this gives you a little more leverage when you are dealing with the thoughts that are hard to turn off, the compulsive thinking. There are other strategies that you can use, things that can help you. We have made agreements with entities, all kinds, with other aspects, entities that have blended with us and we think they are part of our personality, or we think they are part of our personality. They think we are part of their personality. And then there's this thinking and sense and feel for what the personality is. And if this one aspect, this entity or this composite or cluster of entities that think they're one, before they even came, there's a bunch that thought that were at once individualized, separate, distinct points of view, points of consciousness and awareness, knowing who and what they were, but somehow they get clustered, they get put together as, and now they go through space and time and many, many years and lifetimes. And now they think they're just one entity, just like you or I might think, I'm just one entity here, but here they are. And now this cluster, and it could be 1,000. It could be 1,000 of them in here. And they're just little bitty like bubbles or little thought forms like this. And then they see you or me or another being, and something attracts them to you or you to them. And there's a blending because it's not physical, so it's mental, emotional, spiritual, psychic, telepathic. And there becomes a blending. So you hear a thought in your head and you think it's your own, and it's your new personality trait just arrived, maybe 1,000,000 years ago, who knows when. But now it's part of you and has become part of you. It's merged with you. You think it's you. You think it's it. It's like, if you looked at it in a very simple terms, you talk about soulmates or twin flames, lovers, and they're two, but they're so alike, and they want to be at one with each other, and they want to be one. Well, be careful what you ask for, because some time ago, this could have happened. The two become one, and they think the same thoughts, and it's all joyful and fun until they forget that they were once two. They want to, and now they're one, and now here you are, you're one of many, believing you're all one. It's kind of a weird, degraded, reversed phenomena of being this at one with God phenomena. There's the higher level of the consciousness of the knowing and awareness, where there's this all is one sort of thing. Consciousness and awareness is in all things, and consciousness and awareness is not. There's no separation between the I am that I am and the God consciousness of all that is. So that's a different version of what we're talking about. We're talking about the lower, as above, so below, the inverted, creepy thing where there's a lot of beings that were individualized entities from all over the multiverse, various planets in the physical realm, other realms, other planets and planes of existence in other realms. They have gotten into the physical world. They've attached themselves to bodies, physical bodies, and beings by virtue of what we think and feel and want and all that stuff. So anyway, here they are. And now they cluster with us, and we think they are us. They think they think they're us. We think we are them, sort of thing. So to take it all apart so that you can be aware, and when you think a thought, it's truly and purely yours. And if you have an intention, it's truly, purely yours. And there is no, you're unstoppable because you're not fighting yourself. You're not, hey, I think I'll go to the mountains. Oh no, this is a really great day for the beach. That shouldn't be happening in consciousness. It's like, we're going to the mountains today. It's going to be fun. Done. Done. Crystal clear thinking, and we're empowered by our ability to be here now. And when we quiet the mind, we're not energizing other entities, we're not feeding them, and we are not thinking thoughts with other entities in our space that think they are us, that we think we are them. You turn off all that thinking stuff, stop thinking, let it go, be here. And the ego self the composite, the ideas and the thoughts and the entities involved in the ideas and thoughts dissolve. They need us to think we are them. And that makes it so, as far as what we think and believe. So, the strategies for resolving all this has to do with, quiet mind practice. I highly recommend Eckhart Tolle. He's got some really good stuff on this. And he seems to be the go-to guy for quiet mind and awakening in that way. But there are other teachers that are into that, teaching on the quiet mind stuff. And I have an entity release course at richwest.net. And I also have the soul contract revocation course, which helps you identify your issues in such a way that you can find the agreements you made that are causing you to have these kinds of issues. And if you have issues with regards to entities, they will have come about because of agreements you've made regarding entities. So the soul contract revocation course really helps. It's kind of like a step one or a stage one sort of thing, along with practicing quiet mind, on how to deal with your entity case, the entity issues that you may have. Okay, all right. And like I said once before, the entity subject is vast. It's huge. There's all kinds of stuff going on, including the reptilian ET involvement in all of that. But this techniques will work to deal with that sort of thing as well. Okay, so thank you for watching, and I'd love to make some more videos about ego and quiet mind stuff. If you're interested, let me know in the comments below. And if you like my stuff, share it and subscribe. And definitely go check out what I have over at richwest.net. And if you would like a session regarding entities, Akvila does that kind of work. She's really good at that. She can see those things. It's amazing. I've met other people that can see entities really well. Some of them really knew how to deal with the entities. That's the kind of work they did. Others could see the entities but didn't know what to do with them or what to do about them. And so Akvila can help you with that sort of thing if you like a session or a consultation with her. And you can find that over at richwest.net as well. All right. Thank you for watching my stuff. And some of you have been watching for years. I really appreciate you all. I really appreciate you a lot. And I am practicing appreciating everything I have and being at peace with the universe. Why would I do that? Well, there's no issues or problems, no complaints. If I appreciate everything I have, even the problems and the things, and if I choose to be at peace with the universe, there's not, most of the things I have to think about were problems and worries and concerns. If you don't imagine you have problems, worries, or concerns, this will help you quiet the mind, or it will help you quiet thinking about these things. And it's a strategy it's a quiet mind practice and strategy. So if you just do that every day, get up in the morning and say, hey, I appreciate everything I have. And I am at peace with the universe. This can help you lift your vibration, let it all go, and quiet mind. And be here now. more and more. Ta-da! Okay. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.